So today's vlog is going to be a little bit different. We're not going to be doing any jogging or really any sightseeing or any stuff like that. But I did want to share a story with you that happened to me way back around, I think it was around 87 or 88. Yes, I'm that old. 88, when I was on my dirt bike and my friend and I got chased. Let me show you a picture of my buddy. Can you see this picture? That's me on this side and my friend Chris Griffin on that side, we used to do these dirt bike trips where we would drive about 3 or 4 miles out to like a wooded area, and we would go dirt bike riding, but we didn't have a trailer or anything to take it out there, so we would have to go by back roads. And so basically that day we were out, it was like a summer or something, and we were riding, basically where we started out was riding down these railroad tracks, and then we'd cut to some back roads. And then unfortunately that day was the day that a cop saw us, because we were riding on the side of the road, and I guess it was like not really legal because my dirt bike didn't have lights on it, and so he ended up chasing me. That's the story I want to kind of tell you a little bit. It's kind of a fun story, and it's kind of an experiment because I've never really done this where I've like shown you locations. Hopefully it'll be very interesting, and if you stand by, you can watch the rest of the story. The other thing I wanted to show you is this kind of cave-like area. Well, you can't see it from here. This area right here was basically where we used to go from my neighborhood to where I'm standing, which is the railroad tracks next to my neighborhood. It wasn't always this grown up. It was usually there was usually a big area where it was cut out, but all these trees have grown up, so now it's like a big medieval like cave, like from Dagobah, like in The Empire Strikes Back. So once we would get past the railroad tracks, we would come down this road, what is this, Pompano Road? Yeah, Pompano Road. It's not really important, is it? Past all these buildings and stuff, which was kind of a back road anyway, and there was like really we were always looking for cops, so occasionally in this parking lot there would be a cop parked here, and we would always be coming down this road cautiously looking to see if there's any cops, because we'd probably get pulled over because our bikes didn't have any lights or tags or turn signals. But then we would have to cross this busy highway into that neighborhood so we could head on to our destination, which was DeSoto Road, which was about 3 or 4 miles away. So once we would run out of neighborhood to drive through, which neighborhoods were like our safe spot, we would end up like basically driving on the side grass, because our mentality was that if you were on the grass, you're not riding in the road, and that's legal. But we didn't actually know. But we just knew if we were in the grass and a cop stopped us, that was the idea, was that we're not riding in the road, we're riding in the grass. We never had been stopped by the cops up to this point, which I'd say we probably rode about 5 or 6 times and never got caught. I do remember specifically that we would ride through this parking lot into this back of this liquor store driveway, like the side alley, and we would cut through here because there was less chance of being seen by the cops right here. So basically our mindset was that we were always trying to be behind buildings or behind trees so the cops wouldn't get it. The cops wouldn't see us on our way out to a place that was actually, I think it was called Cooper Creek is what we used to call it. There's actually a mall there now. But I think it was actually on the way back that the cops spotted us. And my friend was giving me this signal, which I hadn't really seen before. My friend was riding, and with his left hand, he was going like this. And I was like, what are you doing? Because he was either behind me, I think maybe he was in front of me. The funny thing, he was riding a little kid's motorcycle. It was a CR80 Honda. I think I was riding like a 175 Yamaha. Okay, so my friend gave me the, which is I guess is sign language for there's a cop back there. But I didn't see him, my friend saw him. But anyway, he kept doing this, and I was going like, what? And I think we were on our way back, and we were riding this way when finally I figured out, he yelled to me. I think he's like, the cops, and he's like pointing, the cops. So I was like, oh man. So I think we stopped behind this building, and I was like, I think we should split up. Like, I'm like, I don't know, you go straight that way, and I'll go that way. I think right at 12th Street over here, I'll show you, where we split up and I went toward like a wooded area, and he went like the other way, because the cop could only follow one of us. So we figured if we split up, that would be the better thing. All right, so this is the area right about where I think we decided to split up, and we were riding down. I don't think there was I don't remember there being a sidewalk right here, right at this spot. But anyway, we were riding down this road trying to get home, which is actually that way. And I didn't see the cop. When my friend initially told me there was a cop following us, I think he must have been a ways back around the corner. So when we turned the corner, he hadn't sped up to us yet. But anyway, somewhere in this stretch of land, we decided that we would split up, and he was going to go straight and I was going to go left, which is basically this way, which there's like a big grass lot. They haven't, it's funny, this is pretty much just how it was, where we would, well, we didn't do anything here, but there's a grocery cart right there. Anyway, so my friend, home is that way, so he went that way on the side of the road, and I went this way. And I think this is where I first spotted the cop coming down this way. And I'm like, he's got his lights on, so immediately that gives you the idea that they're probably coming after you. And the funny thing is, we had no intentions of stopping at all. This is like how, that was probably like 19, I think at the time, 18, 19. We had zero intentions of stopping for the cop for whatever reason. We just did not want to be stopped whatsoever for the cop. And I'm like, I guess in my mind, I'm like thinking, it's a cop car. There's like a lot of woods around here. I should be able to lose him pretty easy. But anyway, so I headed off in that direction, I think, which is 12th Street, to lose the cop. So my friend and I split up on this road, like right near this road up here. And when I turned left, the cop followed me. Instead of following him, I'm like, oh great. So it was obvious that he was chasing me. But anyway, and I wasn't like, I had the advantage because of the fact that I was like, there was a lot of trees and grass over here, and he had a car. So what I ended up doing is I ended up turning off this road. This church was not here, it was a big field. And I came down this way. There was a lot of trees and stuff. And I came all the way down to this area, which is right near a creek. And I didn't know if I could go through because I've actually never been down this way. But I drove right down this area, and there was a giant creek, and I was like thinking maybe I could cross it, but when I looked down, it was like 20 feet deep and it was all muddy. So I came back, looked this way. The cop was like driving through all the grass and stuff, and his lights were all dee-doo, dee-doo. My adrenaline was all jacked up. For some reason, this is a weird bit of story that's hard to like put into explain, because like right around where this playground was, there was all these hills of dirt, like somebody had been digging a ditch or something and dumping these big piles of dirt. So it was like I drive over this way, and there's these big piles of dirt, and it was kind of hard to, they were so close together I couldn't ride through them, but the cop was like essentially right here. And when I got to about right here, the cop had got out of his car because I had stopped to sort of negotiate these hills, and I was like, holy crap, dude. He was ready to run me down on foot, basically. This guy was not screwing around. And I guess he was like, I don't know, cops I think are adrenaline junkies too, and I think he was like, I'm gonna get this guy, I'm gonna tackle this guy with his motorcycle. So I got to where these dirt hills were, like right on this area. And what I did was I just jumped off, and I started riding up and down them. I just put it in first, and I started riding up and down these little hills, walking, like running beside the motorcycle, because I think I was gonna fall off. So luckily, I did not fall, and I got past these dirt mounds and kept going across that wooded area to where I'm gonna show you next, where there's a bridge over there. And I kept looking back. I remember looking back and seeing the cop like, oh, damn it. And he ran back to his car, and I think it was the last thing I saw him, I think he was running back to his car, and he was headed out toward the road again. This is the area that I said that used to be a field. There was no church. Listen to those bugs. So I would have rode through the bushes over here, and the cop didn't have anywhere to drive to because I think there was a bunch of trees in here. So just imagine this all grass, basically, and trees, no church. And I think there used to be a road here that went straight out too. There's like a big pond there now. So I came to this area and I spotted this bridge, and the way it was then, I think it didn't have these stairs, but there was this bridge, and I saw that and I said, I'm saved, because all along this property, what you can see right there, right here, there's a creek that runs all in this area. And I'm thinking I'm never gonna be able to cut into the woods because there's a lot of wooded area around here. And if I would have had to keep driving, I don't know where I would have gone. I think the cop would have probably stopped me. I would have just drove down some neighborhoods and ended up in a dead end. But I saw this, and there used to be a road, I think, used to go straight from that road, like a dirt road, and it came all the way here. So I figured if he was smart, he could have seen me and drove over here. But once he got to the bridge, this is only like a footbridge. So I drove across into the woods over there, which on the other side, I think there's actually a church over there too. And that is where I primarily hid out for like the next half hour to hour. So once passing the bridge here, I drove into this lot of trees and stuff, which I had no idea where it went. And I like pulled off one of these paths and I just kept driving till it got really thick. And then I jumped off my motorcycle and I think I drove my bike into like some of this like viney stuff. Basically I would have like thrown my bike like back there somewhere where I figured if the cop got off and was still looking for me, that he would not have been able to see me. I don't know, I still don't know what's back here. I think it's part of some retreat property or something where people just like come out to commune with nature. Anyway, so my bike would have been stashed and then I ran away from my bike and I went and hid behind some bushes. Basically, like if I was doing it now, this is what I would have done basically. Hope we don't have any. I would have just like found a nice hiding spot like this where you could see out but nobody could see you. And I would have just like sat behind these bushes like making sure the cop wasn't looking for me. That's what I think I did. I basically just laid it low. And I think I could see a little bit out of like where the bridge was, so I could see if the cop was actually gonna come, which it's not what ended up happening. Wow, I'm getting poked in the back by some bushes. What happened was I didn't hear anything, I didn't see anything. So I sat there thinking for like, I don't know if it was like the next half hour. And I thought, if I can get to a phone, maybe my friend will come pick me up. So that's what I ended up doing. And here's one thing that I gotta explain that's like kind of stupid is, well, the whole thing was probably stupid actually. What I ended up doing is I had an orange shirt on, which is probably not the best color to wear if you're trying to be like sneaky and stuff. And I always was wearing, for some reason I always wore this one orange shirt. I don't even know if, I think it was just like a blank shirt. And I thought, this is not good. So I ended up having to take my shirt off. And I thought if I could get to a phone, take my shirt off so the cop wouldn't like instantly recognize there's a guy with an orange shirt on, because obviously there's not that many people with orange shirt on. It's not like it is today when people are all wearing, for construction purposes, people wear orange a lot now. But in those days it wasn't as common. So then I had to hike out and go find a phone to call my friend. So now we're going pretty far back into the payphone era. How long has it been since we've seen a payphone? Like in Sarasota, you don't see very many payphones. And what I think ended up happening was I was praying that my friend actually got to my house. I think my parents were gone at this point or something, or my mom was gone on a trip or something. Lady over here. What is she doing back there? What is she always doing back there? All right, so I call my friend at home. He actually picked up the phone, believe it or not. He beat the cop. Actually, I think there was another cop that ended up trying to stop him, and he ended up getting away from the other cop. So I call him, I said, do you think you can get my car keys, drive the trailer over here, and come pick me up? He's like, yeah, I think so. So I told him, like, I think I had to tell him like what the lock number was on the trailer, how to put it on my car, because I had a trailer hitch on there. I had to tell him where my car keys. I'm like, drive my car down, put the trailer on it, take the thing down. So he ends up meeting me, I think, on the other side of this road over there near the woods. After I probably had to wait like 45 minutes to an hour, because I know he didn't really have a lot of experience with my car and my trailer, like how to put it on. But he did a good job. So probably an hour later or something, I ended up meeting him at the thing, and he ended up picking me up, put my bike on the trailer, and drove home. And he had a pretty good story about how it ended up happening. So I basically lost the cop because I think he must have just like gave up. He might have been driving around. I don't know. That was that was what my fear was, is that he was going to be driving around looking for me, and that the lady just waved at me. The cop was going to be looking for me and he would like spot me. But like at the time I had like a black full face helmet on and that orange shirt. And once I took the helmet off and the shirt, I didn't think he'd be able to recognize me. So yeah, that's what happened. So he told me when he got to that area we were talking about before, which was basically next to the railroad tracks, that cop spotted him. And I don't know if the first cop called the second cop on the radio and said, be on the lookout for a guy in a dirt bike, red dirt bike with the white helmet. But he ended up racing this cop to the end. And I don't know how fast a CR80 goes, but it might be about 60 miles an hour maybe. He said he raced that cop all the way to the end of the street to where the cop couldn't go any further, and the cop had to stop, and he ended up going down the railroad tracks back to my house, which is pretty funny. So all ended up well. It might have been would it have been a better ending if like I hid in the woods and then the cop arrested me and took me to jail? Maybe that would have been better. But and also be on the lookout for a behind the scenes video, which I hope to edit. And since I'm very lazy sometimes, it takes me a while to get that out. So depending on how long it takes me to finish that one, there'll also be a behind the scenes version of this story with featuring some additional content and extra stuff. Hi everybody, so if you just saw the video and you liked what you saw, why not help support me, John, and whatever else I'm doing with being able to go out and do more videos and travel further around Florida and possibly other places. There's like 3 things you can do. First, you can like the video. The liking actually helps, as far as I know, helps the video gain in rank as far as the search, where you search in Google and it helps your video get noticed. So then hopefully that will grow and become a bigger channel and hopefully develop some kind of monetary thing. The other thing you can do is you can share this video on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those things. You can share that video because then that will sharing helps spread it, and the chances of it going viral or something like that is a lot larger if you share and another person shares. Like on Facebook, videos go viral all the time just from Facebook and stuff like that. So the other thing you can do is actually go to my t-shirt shop at johnswift.spreadshirt.com. It's got a lot of different stuff on here, like there's cell phone cases and some hoodies too. They even got like women's shirts, mugs, and men's shirts, all different colors. A couple different logos in there. I've got like the darker logo with my name on it, and there's some different coffee cups and stuff. So if you'd like to help, it's appreciated if you could just visit that. Maybe you could buy it for a gift for a friend or whatever. Anyway, just help me just kind of grow my channel, add some additional support. I get you get a portion of the proceeds because it's actually run, the t-shirt shop is actually run by somebody else, and I get like a couple bucks out of every shirt, I guess, for whatever they sell it for anyway. So I appreciate you looking at and sharing on social media and just supporting me, John Swift. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later.